What we have over here is a parametric cabinet. I'm going to show you why it's called a parametric cabinet. This is a list of parameters that are used to construct this cabinet. If you change any value over here, it will update the design. I'm changing over here the height, and you can see how it became shorter. Any value you update over here, it will update the cabinet itself. This is really useful for designs that are going to be reusable. I'm going to update the depth of the cabinet or any other value. Let me check over here which one. Let's change. Okay, let me update this one, the width, which is 36 inches. Right now, I'm gonna put 40 inches, and it will become wider. That's it. Really easy. I'm going to change the depth of the cabinet over here, so it's gonna be a little bit narrower. That's it. This is a straightforward cabinet that we are going to build from scratch in a minute. Let's get rid of this one for now. So let's name a new document. Let's name it BS. So this is for base sink cabinet. As you can see, this is the parameter list is empty. So if we are going to use parameters, we need to fill this list, which could be filled manually, one by one. But I use this add-in that is a free add-in that you could add to Fusion 360, and it used to import and export to a file or from a file a list of parameters. I have built. I'm checking over here if I have download a list of parameters for this cabinet. I'm not. So I'm checking over here my spreadsheet that I did to have a list of parameters for base cabinets, wall cabinets, or tall cabinets. Actually, what you need is only 3 columns. The parameter name itself, the unit, and the value. So these two, I just use them to construct the right name. I want to add the name of the cabinet to the parameters, so I will identify them in bigger projects easier if I use different cabinets in the same project. So let's import this list that we just created. It's called cabinet parameters base for base cabinets. This is all the unit. We have already filled up these lists using this free add-in. Now we have all the parameters that we are going to use to build this cabinet. So let's start a new sketch and build the cabinet. We are going to use that list of parameters values. We will use the rectangular tool over here and constrain the start of it with this line over here. For the dimensions of it, we are going to use the parameters available: depth and height. On the height, we will use the total height of the cabinet less the toe height. Now we will create a dimension over here and constrain this to this corner with the toe height parameter, which is 4 inches. When you start typing the parameters, Fusion will show you the options available with the typed letters, so it's really easy to find them and use them. Now we will be constructing the rectangle that is going to be used to build the bottom of this cabinet. Always using the available parameters values. Now we'll make the front stretcher. Always using the available parameters for stretcher width and cabinet material for the thickness. Now the rear stretcher. We are building these rectangles constrained to the exact point where we need them. For this particular one, we are going to use the min function. So we wanted to have a preset minimum value for this part because we don't want ever to be too narrow. So the minimum is going to be set to 2 inches, just in case in the future you change the stretcher to 3 inches width, because we set over here half of it. We don't want it to be 1.5 inches. So we wanted to have a minimum over here of 2 inches always. Finally, we are going to do the top rail rectangle, and we will be done with this sketch. Okay, I think we are ready over here with the sketch. So let's construct the components with this. First, we are going to make the left side panel, always using the values of the parameters already set. So we will get the right thickness of this part from the parameters. You have to choose all the sketches. It's going to be a new component. The distance is going to be the cabinet material thickness parameter. And it's going to be from the start point is going to be from the sketch plane. So let's name this component, left side panel, and let's hide it for a second. Let's turn on this sketch again so we could do the other parts. Let's do the bottom. This length is going to be the width of the cabinet parameter less the cabinet material thickness 2 times, because the bottom is going to be between the side panels. That's why you take the total width of the cabinet and you subtract 2 times the cabinet material parameter. From the start point, we are going to use the offset option because this part is starting on the inside of the panel. That's why over here on the offset distance, we choose the cabinet material thickness parameter. Let's name this one bottom. We already have had 2 components. Let's do the other parts. Let's do the front stretcher now. We have to use the start from offset, which is going to be cabinet material. And the distance, the extend type, we're going to use two objects. And we're going to choose this edge of the bottom. So we could have these parts always with the same length. Now we'll do the top rail using the same features that we use for the front stretcher. Let's do the same one with the back stretcher. Offset is the cabinet material, which is the thickness of the left side panel. Let's choose this edge, and that will be all. New component. You just have to name them. So we are missing just one part now, which is going to be this little horizontal back stretcher. And we're going to use the edge of the back stretcher to get the correct length of this part. As you can see, the extend type is going to be two objects, and we choose that edge. And that will be all. Let's name it. Now let's do a midplane. So we could do the mirror, the right side panel. So let's hide this one for a second and construct a midplane. Midplane, choose this edge, change the view and choose the other edge. Now we have our midplane over here. And we want to create a mirror of the left side panel using that mirror plane. That's it. It's named already, and Fusion put the word mirror to the right of it, so you know it's a mirror from other part. Let's update the appearance of all these parts. And I will choose white. There is a lot of different colors and everything. You better do a list of your regular use appearance and have it on my appearances. I'm using over here the white for all these parts. Almost all of them. That's it. We are missing only the doors. To make the doors, we will start a new sketch. I'm going to choose this plane over here, which is the edge of the left side panel. We are going to make a rectangle, and we don't want to have a constraint right now, so we choose a place over here, not constraining, I'm going to put it over somewhere around here. And that's it. Okay. So now, what we are going to do is put some dimensions to have the reveals. I'm tapping over here, reveal, and I just finding out that I didn't set the reveal parameter. So I'm missing that one. So what could you do in this case? Well, actually you could just name the parameters on the fly. You just write the name of it, equal, and the value, no spaces. And you could have that parameter made on the fly. So I put the reveal of a quarter of an inch on the bottom and on the left side. Now over here, we don't want to go too close to the upper side of the cabinet because you might have problems with the countertop. So we're gonna put over here the cabinet material thickness of the reveal. That's why we are using in this cabinet that top rail, which is going to be of the same material as the doors. So we will have those doors of the base cabinet a little bit lower from the edge of the top edge of the cabinet. So we just choosing over here cabinet material as the reveal on the upper side. So we have the sketch which could be the sketch for the first door, but we need to set the width of this first door, which has to be the half of the width of the cabinet, less the 3 reveals that we are using, the one in the middle and the 2 on the sides of the cabinets. It's remaining me over here that it's constrained to the left side, so our dimension has to be from the left side from the right side to the left side. And it's going to be the width of the cabinet. Let's see. Less reveals by 3. We're going to use an operation over here. Reveal by 3. But we are not dividing yet. We have to divide this by 2. And we have to enclose that in parentheses on the right place. Let me do that. That's fine. So that's the correct side of this door. For the next one, or the right door, we are doing another rectangle. Just put a rectangle and use the collinear constraints, which is going to be a lot easier to do that way. We won't use any dimensions right now, only for the width. We put over here a dimension of the reveal, which is going to be between the 2 doors, which is the same reveal of a quarter of an inch. Now we have a constraint of collinear with the bottom edge and the top edge. Now we need to set a reveal, but actually that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to choose the width of this door with the same formula that we use for the left door, which is the width of the cabinet less the reveals by 3 times divided by 2, because there is 2 doors. And we have to put the parentheses on the right places. Otherwise, it will look, the letters will be red. And something is not good. Let's go back. We have to move that, the last parenthesis. We have to move it before the division. We have to get rid of this and put it over here. Okay, that's it. To check if this is good, you just measure the reveal. If it's the same one on the right side, you are good to go. Let's check this. Use the measure tool, and yes, we have 1/4 of an inch, which is 100% correct. So that's it. We have our sketches for our 2 doors, and we just need to extrude them right now. Let's do that. For the one on the left side, you choose the complete sketch. And offset, I like to choose an air gap, so it looks better on the display when you choose some space between the doors and the case, which is a reality. They're not always complete tied to the case. So we are choosing just over here a parameter that will give us just a little space between the case and the door. They're going to be new components, and we are using for the extrude distance the door material thickness, which is a parameter that we have. When you do an extrude within a sketch, it will automatically turn off the sketch. So to do the other one, we will have to turn on the sketch again. I have the air gap with 2 little distance, so I just updated the parameter in order to have a better look of the distance between the door and the case. Okay, let's turn on this sketch again and extrude the right door. New component. The distance is going to be the door material thickness from the profile plane. That will be all. The air gap is going to be offset. It's going to be offset with the air gap parameter, so it doesn't get extruded from the right edge of the cabinet itself. So a little bit of air gap between the cabinet and the door. So now we have our 2 doors. I'm going to change some parameters. I just change the width. It became back. I put 40 inches back, and everything move it over okay. I changed the height over here. Everything moves over okay. That's a good test to see if your cabinet is working correctly as a parametric component itself. So I just changed the width, the height, and the depth, and everything went correct. So I know everything is working fine. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please hit the button and please subscribe to the channel. I will be making other videos. Actually, I will be making a complete cabinet library in Fusion 360 in order to be used for different projects. So as they do on the regular cabinet softwares, you build a library of cabinet and you choose them, the one you like for the new projects. I will do the same on Fusion 360, and I will put all the videos. So If you like this, please subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, if any special requests, please write a comment. I will try to answer all of them. Thank you.